So guys, on today's video, we're going to be doing an overview looking back on the entirety of the build for the Project A3, and I'm going to talk about everything I would have done differently if I had to start over and do the whole build all over again. What's going on, guys? We're back here again today. Welcome back to the channel, Savage Panda Projects, the habitat for horsepower. So guys, going back to the early days, looking back from the very beginning, we started off with simple bolt-ons, went with APR stage 1 with the matching transmission tune, moving into downpipe in stage 2, ultimately moving into the IS38 stage 3 or 2+ file, whatever your interpretation is. Now, a lot of you guys ask, just got a car, what's the best thing to do? Can you make a suggestion for a basic beginner starting point? Or what should I be looking to accomplish when building one of these cars? Now, one thing I want to make a point of, there's been a lot of different changes as far as aftermarket support and upgrades for this particular platform. Now, when I was first getting into the game with the Volkswagen Audi MQB stuff, APR still had stage 2. So a lot of people right now, I can understand your frustrations at the present time. There's not a stage 2 option with downpipes for MQB if you decide to go with APR. Now, if you're someone who doesn't want to get your hands dirty, if you don't want to push like insane power with crazy bolt-ons and messing with turbos and downpipes and intercoolers, all this kind of stuff, if you guys want to simply do a stage 1 ECU tune, a matching TCU tune, pretty much chill, have a great day, that's totally fine. I would recommend grab yourself a set of RS7 plugs, get some APR ignition coils, and you're probably going to be good to go. I really wouldn't worry about it if you're not comfortable tearing into bolt-ons like your turbos and intercoolers. It's totally understandable. You go with whatever brand makes you happy, whether it be APR, IE, Unitronic, you name it. There's lots of good options out there for off-the-shelf software. Now guys, looking back on the early days as far as performance upgrades on the car, when I first started out, there was no support from Cobb with the access port for Audi vehicles. You guys have seen other companies like EQT have done an amazing job. They've got a really good following with a lot of these guys pushing some very impressive numbers. These little A3s, S3s are really doing some big things right now. So if you want to go custom, I would definitely consider check out EQT. Very popular, very experienced tuners. These guys are putting out some amazing numbers and excellent products. So looking back, once again, starting off, working with this platform, trying to figure out the best possible solution for performance software. At that time, guys, Cobb did not support the Audi A3 and S3. They only had support for the GTIs and Golf Rs for the Volkswagen guys. So I think there was a window there where a lot of the A3, S3 guys didn't really have quite as many options as the GTI Golf R crowd. So if you guys gave me a stock car, if you want to go ahead and look at it from like a blank canvas standpoint, if you want to do a one and done, you want to go full send, if you don't want to do anything off the shelf, if you don't want just basic plug and play stuff, if you're looking to seek much greater power levels than what you're going to get from basic hardware, basic off the shelf tunes, probably go ahead and do a full send, guys. Maybe grab an EQT Vortex, get a custom tune, grab an access port, and have a great day. That's probably the best way to do it if you're wanting to go skip all the in-between, all of the intermediate stuff that's off the shelf and go right to big boy power. So you got to think about what is your budget, what do you plan to do with the car, what are your expectations for the car, how much do you want to spend. There's a lot of different factors to take into consideration when building one of these cars, or really any platform for that matter. If you guys want to keep things simple, maybe you've got a relatively low mileage car, you're not going to get too deep in bolt-ons, off-the-shelf stage 1 tune, matching ECU tune, do some plugs, grab some coils, maybe lower the car, some springs, get some wheels, and you can pretty much leave it at a happy standpoint there. It'd be totally fine. Especially if it's a daily driver, you don't want to get too deeply invested to where you're going to compromise the comfort and the drivability, the reliability of the car for street use. So again, sometimes there can be some negativity. I know some enthusiasts are more vocal than others as far as what they like and what they don't like as far as performance upgrades on cars. Welcome to the car community, it's kind of how it goes. But if the stage 1, stage 2 off the shelf thing is just not your cup of tea, you go ahead, you fork over the cash, you go custom, you go ahead and make your big boy power and pretty much have a good day. One other department I want to talk about on this video, guys, is wheels. As you guys know, for a long time I ran the Alzer wheels. That's basically like the ECS Tuning house brand. Nothing too special there, guys. A very affordable set of wheels. Nothing too special. You're pretty much dealing with like an affordable, a very entry-level price point cast wheel. Going forward, looking at aftermarket wheel upgrades, I would definitely consider spending a lot more money. Not saying break the bank necessarily, but I would definitely consider putting more money into a better set of wheels. You know, there are a lot of companies now, like 034, for example, they're making like an entry-level forged wheel. You do have some pretty good upgrades depending on what your budget and how far you want to go, but I would definitely stay away from the cheaper cast wheels. The finish is just not super special on them. It's a little bit bland, not the best, and of course you don't have the strength of a flow form or forged wheel. And of course the cast wheels, they're more of a brittle, porous construction, so you really don't have the same level of strength, and they are more prone to cracking, and of course they're going to be a lot heavier. If you want a better quality wheel, I do think it makes sense to spend a little bit more to get a flow form wheel or possibly even a forged wheel if the budget would allow. Something else to take into consideration, looking back on the Project A3, one consistent theme I had going for a long time was keeping a very understated low profile with the car. You guys will know that the car, basically, aside from the wheels and the big brakes, it pretty much was bone stock as far as appearance. No chrome delete, no RS grille swaps, no side skirts, no carbon fiber. It was very muted, very understated. I kept a very low profile of the car. A lot of people would kind of consider that to be more of a sleeper build, which I think can be really fun. Probably one of the greatest things about the A3 is people don't perceive it as a performance car. They look at it as a basic economical entry-level luxury sedan. When you can sneak up on people when you're full bolt-ons, IS38, custom tune, all that good stuff, these cars will really surprise a lot of people. And I think it's really fun to kind of lay low and keep that low profile when you kind of run into other scenarios with possibly more expensive cars, and you might end up seeing them in your rearview mirror. I do think it is fun to kind of take that minimalist approach, sneak up on some people, take them to Gapplebee's, they're not going to see you coming, and you have that nice, understated, sneaky low profile. But at the end of the day, it really depends on, it's your car. You got to think about what you're wanting to do and how important it is when it comes to your meat and potatoes bolt-ons for gains versus your aesthetics. Moving on to the next point, guys. I would say probably the biggest mistake I made on this car is not investing early on into either ceramic coating or paint protection film, or possibly a combination of both. You guys have seen it. Obviously, we've got a lot of opportunities now in the detailing world to take steps and preventative measures to get the best out of these cars, protect the paint, keep the cars looking their best for as long as you possibly can, and to help reduce the wear and tear that you're going to find from highway driving, daily driving, construction zones, all this kind of stuff. And I had my car, you guys know, I've owned this A3 since it had about 9,000 miles on it. So it was really close to new when I got it. And I would say, once again, probably one of the biggest mistakes looking back is not investing into PPF, ceramic coating, again, or a combination of the two. So guys, final conclusion for the Project A3, treated me extremely well, very reliable, definitely enjoyed all the different phases, all the progression throughout the entirety of the build. I would definitely consider changing a couple things, looking back on some different departments, but I want to kind of share my experiences with you guys to help anybody up and coming. If you're working with a blank canvas, if you just picked up a car, you want to think about what it takes to get the car where you want it to be. It's always good to help fellow enthusiasts kind of navigate as they find their way through these different builds. So thank you guys so much once again for all the support and your positive feedback. So that's going to go and wrap it up for today, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.